Welcome back to my channel. Most people believe that treasures of ancient Thailand were stolen, but what if they were taken back? In Ayutthaya, over 80% of a royal treasure vanished after being looted, not lost. Not sold, but never seen again. Some say the thieves were arrested, others say they went mad, and one prince armed with modern technology claimed he heard something digging around his bed at night. This is the story of Pu Som Fao Sap, the guardian of hidden wealth and the reason some treasures were never meant to be found. This is Stuffs You Missed. Stay with me. Ayutthaya fell centuries ago. Its gilded spires toppled. Its kings turned to dust. But something remained behind. Not a king, not a god. A duty. They call him Pu Som Fao Sap, Grandfather Som, who guards treasures. He is not quite a ghost, not quite a deity, but a silent, unwavering tutelary spirit. In Thai belief, he is the eternal guardian of national wealth, the protector of sacred objects and treasures hidden from invaders. This belief, rooted in a blend of fear, respect, and a primal need for protection, assigns him a role similar to treasure spirits found across the world. From the household gods of Rome to the tomb guardians of Egypt, he is the sentinel of a fallen kingdom's soul. His duty is absolute. He protects the royal regalia, the ancient gold, and the sacred Buddha images spirited away as the Ayutthaya kingdom crumbled under the weight of invasion. The treasures were buried not for personal gain, but for national preservation, and so their guardian is a national one. He does not answer to individuals, only to the sanctity of what he protects. To approach his domain requires more than just a shovel. It requires respect, offerings, and permission from a power that predates modern law. He dwells in the silent, crumbling place. See the ruins of ancient temples, the darkness of underground crypts, the stillness of sealed chambers. Those who claim to have seen him describe a figure both imposing and terrifying. A tall, silent warrior dressed in the dark blue garb of an ancient era. Sometimes he appears headless, a symbol of his unwavering, thoughtless duty. His presence is not announced with a scream, but with a heavy, oppressive silence. For generations, his story was a whisper, a tale told to children to keep them from wandering into the ruins after dark. Then, in 1957, the whispers became a roar. Wat Ratchabarana had stood broken since the Burmese invasion. Its central prang hollow, its crypt sealed by time and fear. People passed it daily. No one dug, until greed became louder than belief. In the late 1950s, a group of men came by night, quiet, methodical, patient. For 3 nights, they dug into the heart of the temple. What they found surpassed imagination: gold ornaments, ancient Buddha images, ceremonial objects once handled by kings. They said the treasure seemed endless. They smuggled it out piece by piece, thinking the silence of the ruins meant permission. But on the final night, something changed. One of the royal swords, the Prasing Kanchaisi, was said to glow, its blade emitting a cold, unnatural brilliance. Above the temple, the sky darkened, clouds turning heavy and restless, though there was no storm forecast. A sudden, inexplicable fear gripped the looters, a confusion that fractured their conspiracy. Soon after, the men began to unravel. One staggered into a police station as if drunk, babbling, surrendering himself, returning artifacts with shaking hands. Others suffered stranger fates, some wandering markets, performing manic sword dances, eyes vacant, their laughter breaking into screams. Shops that had bought the stolen objects shut down abruptly, plagued by misfortune and a palpable sense of dread. The authorities scrambled to investigate, but in the end, only about 20% of the treasure was ever recovered. The rest, people whispered, had been taken back, taken by Pu Som Fao Sap. Years later, another version surfaced, less frightening, more human. A rational explanation began to take shape, peeling back the layers of myth. One of the looters, Itur Auchi, was a police officer. A bitter conflict had erupted over how to divide the immense haul. Feeling cheated, the officer reported the entire crime to his superior. The subsequent police investigation, not a supernatural curse, led to the arrests. The mad sword dance was likely an unrelated incident, a drunken man's public spectacle that was later woven into the fabric of the legend. In 2013, a National Geographic documentary team interviewed Ayutthaya locals and found no concrete proof of supernatural punishment. The curse stories, they concluded, were exaggerated over time, born from the chaos and greed of the moment. The arrests was simply the result of good police work. But just as the rational explanation seemed to settle the matter, another story emerged, one that could not be so dismissively dismissed. In 1960, Prince Bira, a man of science and royal blood known to the world as Prince Bira, turned his attention to armed with an advanced mine detector. He secured an agreement with Thailand's Finance Department to excavate the ruins of Wat Kuti Dao. The terms were clear. 90% of any treasure found would go to the state, 10% to the prince. He was confident his technology would succeed where others had failed. It did not. Despite repeated attempts and the detector's promising signals, he found nothing. The villagers watched his modern efforts with knowing glances. He had failed, they said, because he had neglected the most important step. He never performed the rituals. He never asked the spirits for permission. The treasures, they believed, had simply moved away, retreating deeper into the earth, hidden by a power his machine could not detect. The prince, a man of logic, was initially skeptical. Then came the disturbances. During his stay in a house on Sukhumvit Road in Bangkok, he was awakened by strange sounds. A rhythmic digging, a chuk-chuk noise, seemed to come from right around his bedroom. He would get up to investigate, and the sound would move first to one corner of the house, then another. No physical cause was ever found. The digging would continue, relentless and unnerving, until the first light of morning, when it would abruptly stop. The true test of his skepticism came back in one evening near the crumbling chapel ruins of Wat Kuti Dao. He saw it. A tall, headless figure stood silhouetted against the dusk. It was built like an ancient warrior, imposing and utterly still. As the prince and his European companion approached, the figure did not flee. It simply vanished. In its place stood a hollow, dead tree. The villagers, when told of the encounter, were not surprised. They calmly identified the apparition. It was Pu Som Fao Sap, the prince's companion. A European unversed in Thai folklore confirmed seeing the exact same figure, providing an independent account that shook the prince's rational worldview. Seeking answers, Prince Bira consulted a revered monk. The spirit, the monk explained, was known as That Aloya Ed the Camp to Keen Yuthong, the founder of Fat had been executed and cursed to become an eternal guardian. His spirit bound to protect the kingdom's treasures from all intruders. His punishment was his duty, and his duty was to punish. The story did not end there. A shadow seemed to follow those who had witnessed the guardian. The prince's European companion died young, his life cut short by an unforeseen illness. Prince Bira himself suffered a series of devastating business failures, his fortune dwindling away as if pulled by an unseen hand. In his later years, the once skeptical prince became a firm believer in the spirits he had disturbed. Scholars, however, remain critical. They point out that no mention of treasure-guarding spirits exists in the Three Seals Law, the ancient legal code of the Ayutthaya kingdom. The concept also conflicts with core tenets of Theravada Buddhist doctrine, which does not support the creation of such eternal, vengeful guardians. There is no historical evidence of kings executing loyal subjects to bind their souls to treasure. The belief in Pu Som Fao Sap, they argue, likely developed much later, a folkloric response to loss and a need for protection. In the end, Pu Som Fao Sap persists as a powerful cultural myth, a story created to protect the nation's heritage where laws and fences could not. He is the personification of sacred fear, a narrative designed to discourage looting and explain the unexplainable of the vast treasures that vanished into the earth and were never seen again. Laws changed, beliefs faded, empires collapsed into dust, yet the earth still remembers what it was told to protect. Call it Pu Som Fao Sap, call it superstition, but if you ever find yourself among the silent ruins of Ayutthaya and you hear the sound of digging where no one stands, stop, because something else is already there. Thank you for watching, and please hit the subscribe button. Have a good night.